into that missile. Welcome everybody. Hopefully you've all had a pleasant weekend. I know everyone's going kind of ham on the Injustice beta right now, but we are back to Mortal Kombat X. This is going to be another one of our ESL EU Community Cups. Our first semi-final is ready to go. It's going to be Engeelar versus Vityaz, two Russian players going head-to-head. And I think the big talking point behind this semi-final is that Engeelar is coming fresh off his win against Mirko.
Well, Mirko being not really in needing of an introduction at this point. He is one of the strongest players we consistently see in the Community Cups. So him being knocked out before the top four was quite a shock to the system, but Engeelar had a really good set against K-Top last week, went down 3-2, was in the process of making... he actually had a really couple of dominating games at the start of the set against K-Top last week with Heavy Weapons Jax, and then ultimately K-Top went to Hishkuten, which is quite a counter pick to Jax, and was able to pull it back. But Engeelar going straight to Wrestler this time, no messing around, and we've got Noble Vityaz, who is a newcomer to the top four, working out this Smoke pick.
This is definitely the first time we've seen this guy in action. Smoke's definitely a really good character in the game, especially in this current meta. Absolutely top 5 material. Versus Jax, I do wonder how this matchup's going to go. We don't see it a whole lot, but Engeelar has pulled things off before, like bringing K-Top last week to the absolute brink in an incredibly hard matchup.
Oh no!
And wake up X-Ray!
I was about to say, I actually thought he went Wrestler Jax, but no, he has actually gone straight up with Heavy Weapons, but not quite sure that X-Ray was 100% worth it. I know Smoke doesn't really need to use bar too much for, like, you know, big damage and whatnot, but at the same time, like, you don't leave yourself without a breaker when Engeelar is clearly doing, like, these big chunks on the way to the corner.
I want to point out, once again, Engeelar had a guaranteed win and didn't seize it. He gets hit by the back one. That's going to be a free overhead. Does not break for some reason. He's confident he's going to guess right on the next mix-up. He could have broken that situation, but he's opted not to do it, and again, giving Vityaz that free round where all he had to do was get that one final hit. Very unfortunate.
But there was no reason Engeelar should have held on to that breaker at the end there. Like, he gave that round away completely for free, and that is going to suck for the rest of the game. At least he managed to keep the corner. The problem is Smoke is he's quite hard to keep there with the phase away, but the teleport with no arm on the wake up. Noble Vityaz just with the disrespect straight away.
I was about to say, that was a really, really brave teleport. No armor on that. You know, he could have done any amount of meaties. Engeelar, though, catching it, resetting into another low. Doesn't get a full combo. Has him in the corner, though. Nice catch on the low. Good block. But unfortunately gets opened up eventually against these run cancels. You really can only block for so long. Knockdown and overhead. No wake up from there. Noble Vityaz getting taken out, and the second round goes to Engeelar. I do wonder how well Heavy Weapons can pressure Smoke if you read the Smoke away.
Well, it depends, because we're actually yet to see Vityaz go to that option yet, but that's going to get that trade. Engeelar just can't really let Vityaz out here. He needs to make the most of this big corner damage that Jax has access to. Could have got a full combo for that, but opts just to go for a down 2. Not really enough, and Vityaz going to get a little bit of momentum now.
I think that's really unfortunate. Engeelar kind of just let that situation slip through his fingers. He had complete control there. Drops a combo again. Nice. Good whiff. Good matchup knowledge right there. That's going to be...
want Engeelar to get, you know, this is going to do a chunk. Spends the bar. Does he get the restand opportunity from this? Oh no, he gets actually straight knockdown. But, set up into the low. Vityaz, he read the quick rise.
I'm starting to think so. Last week, I said he dropped his combo and tagged him with the low, but this is the second time in a row we've seen him do it. I don't even think that's a combo drop. I think he actually wants that deliberately. I'm positive that is a reset attempt. Game 1 is going to go to Engeelar. Yeah, good stuff.
It was quite comfortable, really. Engeelar definitely seemed to... When he is pressuring, he seems to be absolutely fine. It's just when his back's against the ropes and he kind of needs his execution to be on point, that's when he starts to slip through a little bit. But at the same time, Vityaz opting to go for Wake Up, Meter Burn, Teleport instead of the Smoke Away, which is puzzling because the Meter Burn Teleport doesn't have any armor on it, is not invincible, does mag a full combo on hit, I do understand that, but also full combo punishable on block. But against Jax, who has you pressured in the corner, he went to it twice, which is a big risk. An unnecessary risk when you've normally got that phase away option. But also Engeelar crouch blocking on Vityaz's wake up. It makes me wonder how many smokes Engeelar's fought if that's how he's trying to pressure Smoke on wake up.
Yeah, I think ultimately it's just going to come down to also how well he can adapt in the situation. But clearly there's matchup knowledge there. I like the fact that Vityaz went for the takedown immediately. He's very well aware now the back 2-1 is getting consistently neutral crouched. So that's a really nice call. And even better call on that overhead. Bopping him right down there. Getting a nice knockdown. What comes next?
There we go. But Engeelar doesn't commit too much. Only sticks out a couple of ones.
Now... an immediate adaptation we're seeing here from Vityaz that he is now committing the back 2-1 into more extensions. He's not just doing the back 2-1 by itself. I really don't think he wants to get neutral crouched any longer. Catches back one. Good break there from Engeelar. Still in this. A little bit antsy to go for the anti-cross-up. Doesn't do it.
Oh, wow, gets that down 4. Catches him, confirmed. The Jax confirms that's going to be round for sure. Vityaz opts to not break, wants to concede the round, I think. Wants to go into round 2 with as much bar as possible so he can get something going, because Engeelar hasn't got anything to work with. But that's actually some full screen pressure given away. A wake up back 1. Vityaz really determined to get that mix. Tries to go for a teleport, but gets stuffed this time.
Gets the low. That's going to be very respectable damage. We're going to see another knockdown splat. What comes next?
Oh, wow.
Nice, patient, good catch, but no bar to convert. Very unfortunate. Nice amount of corner carry, though, sitting in that sort of mid-screen. I think Vityaz has a ton of work to do, but with the smoke with 2 bars, that is definitely possible to come back on this round.
Well, Smoke is a comeback character for sure. He's just going to have to get at least 3 resets at this point. But Engeelar just setting up this defense right now, determined to block, waits for his moment. There's the meter burn phase through just to get around frames, and Engeelar's again been hit. But again, this isn't going to do too much damage. 30%. Going to need one more combo and some chip just to do it. But another bar.
Oh, the patience!
Again, Engeelar always ready for the smoke away.
I've got to say, that was actually really smart at the end there from Engeelar. So, in that situation where he allowed Vityaz to be minus, but when he saw the negative frames, he still didn't want to press the advantage because he knew that even though Vityaz was not punishable, he was ready for that smoke phase away towards him. So he had the patience to wait for the move as is, and then he had even more patience to wait for that phase to then enforce 1-1. Now, chat has told us that Vityaz is also a Demolition Sonya player. I think Scar comes to mind with this character combination.
I was about to say that that rings a bell of another competitive player that's done that at one point, but I honestly can't say I know much about the Demolition Heavy Weapons matchup. It's not something I've seen in at least like a good 6 months.
This is a Special Forces showdown, my friend. There's going to be grenades on one
Special
side.
Forces, it's Demolition, innit?
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, wow, and then we go. First it goes to a grenade on block. This is definitely a Demolition. Goes to the full meter burn grenade, but doesn't get too much damage. Only 11% for the 1 bar. Not 100% worth
catches. Now, I think one thing that I think Vityaz has shown us almost immediately is that just not afraid to commit. No corner combo, though. Ever so slightly dropping it. I think that might have been because the 2 grenades did adjust the gravity of that corner BNB. Nice block on the low. Engeelar still in this, but bit of a mountain to climb at this point.
Oh, wow.
That jumping is going to be...
I'm not quite sure I wanted that.
Not the cleanest of rounds, but I think definitely Vityaz will take that. Engeelar going into this round, though, with 3 bars of meter.
I feel like it's important for Engeelar to not let Vityaz get this game for a couple of reasons. Obviously, he wants to win. He wants to win the set. But also, let's not forget, this is basically what happened to him last week. He got a really dominant couple of games at the start of the set, and then his opponent swapped and basically swept him 3 straight. So if he loses this game, there is going to be that kind of like subconscious paranoia that it might happen again. But it looks like he is actually quite content getting that wonderful anti-cross-up into a full confirm, into some nice corner pressure, or corner carry. Oh, doesn't scout out the armor. Oh, interesting.
Oh, the raw NJP. I think it's because he was trying to anti-cross-up, but it just didn't work out. Nice poke, challenging those minus frames. Even though heavy weapons can run cancel. Hang on, that might be death.
No, not quite, not quite. It'll be close. First is,
can he guarantee? Grab?
Oh, no, because he guaranteed.
Oh, the challenge!
Vityaz tried to do a meatless wake-up and just took the damage for free.
But I wonder if he tried to go for the meterless... the roll, you know, the grenade. Oh, you know what? Tried to go for a wake-up attack, but didn't have the grenades. That was the wake-up we probably tried to see, but the grenades weren't ready, so he just did nothing on wake-up and got tagged.
Punish confirms into the overhead punch just to get some chunky damage. 36% wake-up throw, but also tagged. Engeelar absolutely on point right now.
That's going to be one of the changes to Sonya, which I think was enforced really well from Vityaz. She cannot combo the same grenade multiple times anymore. That's why we saw the electric grenade into the explosives.
Oh,
but
no,
a nice punish.
Reload, not quite sure about that.
I do not agree with that point blank reload. Just absolute death. No meter to confirm that, though. Engeelar only needs 1 more hit at this point to make it 3-0, and he does just that.
That boiled down to Vityaz twice in a row at a clutch time when it really came down to that final decision, trying to do a meatless wake-up twice in a row and getting stuffed both times. I understand why you try and disrespect with a meatless wake-up sometimes. If you can see they're not point blank, maybe their meaty won't quite come out in time, especially if your wake-up attack's particularly fast, but there just comes a point where you have to know enough about the mechanics to know, okay, right, I'm probably not going to get away with this here. So to try that twice in a row, I'm just not sure that was the right call.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think changing to Sonya was an interesting pick, and very, very, very clearly Vityaz had knowledge of how to play this character, and also knowledge of the changes. You know, a lot of people definitely abandoned picking Sonya in favor of the sort of new hot top tiers, as you could probably consider it. But definitely knowledgeable of what post-patch Demolition can do, but ultimately I think Engeelar he made really good reads this week, and that's what we didn't see much of the last few times we saw him in the semi-finals. Was his decisions were bold, but most of the time they just weren't there. And I think another big change is that Engeelar in our previous weeks was picking Wrestler a ton, and that was his main pick, right, was Wrestler Jax. He would then go to heavy weapons by the end of the set. There were definitely signs of life, and he was playing better with heavy weapons, and he would always inevitably lose. So last week and this week, Engeelar is now going all out with heavy weapons first, and clearly he is getting better results with this heavy weapons pick.
Well, maybe it is just like we have said many times before, use the comfort thing, right? I mean, he's gone to wrestler and heavy weapons over the last couple of weeks. He definitely seems content playing both, depending on matchup, I think. But heavy weapons is definitely giving him the most mileage. It's the confirms, the cancels. It mainly is actually the cancels, because he's not really using or having the opportunity to use the rocket too much. Understandably, he wasn't going to opt to do that against smoke because it doesn't really work and can be reacted to, and against demolition. Even at the same time, she's kind of in your face all the time. Doesn't really give you that chance to be full screen. But props to him. We're going to move on to his first grand finals.
Yeah, very excited to see what happens. I know that if K-Top, or H-Dope, I should say, I keep reading the brackets. In the brackets, it's K-Top's account that is in the bracket, but it's his brother H-Dope that's actually playing. If Engeelar wins this week by defeating H-Dope, that's going to be quite a little bit of a call-out, isn't it? It's going to be, okay, so you took me out last week, down to the wire, you counterpicked me, I still brought it back, however, you did best me in that set. I've taken out your brother this week, I want you next week. That would be a hell of a story to play next Sunday, but we might see it, we might not. It depends on how well H-Dope plays.
You beat me, and then your brother beat me too.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll have to wait and see.